What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. My name is Rookie, and I have a group. It's Tech But Solutions. It's the second link in the description, and we would love to be a part of your success. It's a free networking group. We have a little bit over 60,000 members. Feel free to join if you guys see value in it. All right, so let's go ahead and get right to it. So I do want to cover the market of buying and reselling cars. Like many of you guys do know, I am working on a lesson library, which is going to be a complete step-by-step process from everything it is that has led to my success to the very basics of buying and reselling cars. So many people have been asking me the specific question of, just tips and tricks when it comes down to buying and reselling cars. And there's just, I believe, so much information that I need to share that responding in a text message or an overall direct message is not going to be enough to get you in going in the right direction. That is why we are putting this together, and I hope that you guys are excited for that. But I wanted to give you guys something to prepare for. One of the 3 things that I want you guys to know before investing in any vehicle or any market, you want to make sure that you understand the market that you're getting yourself into, that you understand the risk involved, and you want to make sure that it's something that you're passionate about. I'm truly passionate about cars, and I love investing them or in treating them as some form of investments. I've created this business, and now we're gonna be growing it to something much greater because of the opportunity that it presents itself at the current state. And the only way that I was able to do that was because I was driven by my passion. I was driven by my passion to learn about this market, and I was driven by my passion to be the best that I can be within this market. Within the month of November, I'm up nearly $30,000 of net profits with a couple flips of the McLaren MP4 12C, the Audi R8, the Yamaha R6, and as well as the BMW M3. So with that being said, what has led to my success and what do you need to know to be able to flip cars successfully? One of the first things that I want you to know is that I am partnered with a dealership. Therefore, they do handle a majority of the transactions. Therefore, I can actually actively buy and resell cars within the legal limit within my state of Arizona. I want to make sure that before you guys start flipping cars, that you guys become familiar with the legal limit of what it is that your state allows you to buy and resell, and that you do it the right way. That is how it is that we do everything within Tech But Solutions, and I want to make sure that you guys do it the right way as well. So talking about that, how is it that you can get started? Something and what got me started into this market is my brother. My brother started a dealership at a very young age, and he got me exposed to this market. Because of that exposure, I first flipped my first car. It was a 2013 Honda Civic with his help. It was a 2013 Honda Civic that was a salvage title. He showed me the whole process of purchasing the car to the full-on restoration, what it had to go through to selling it, and then kind of I was already exposed to selling it and the paperwork and stuff like that. So he put it all together. Because of that, I was exposed to the market at a pretty early age, 18. It's not the earliest age, but because of that, I was able to understand this market and how dealerships capitalize on this market. Now, I came up with, no secret step-by-step system. It's just this same concept that dealers, I believe, use when it comes down to buying and reselling cars, especially used car dealers, but I do it at a much smaller scale. And I'm able to do that because I understand the market, I understand what I'm investing in, and I understand the risk involved for each and every car or motorcycle that I choose to invest in. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys an example on, I think, something that a lot of people can capitalize on, and that is motorcycles. The reason I'm going to be talking about motorcycles is it doesn't cost tens of thousands of dollars like my R8, McLaren, or Z06. It costs a couple $1,000s, and it's something that might be a little bit easier to work on since the components of the overall motorcycle are not very much. So one of the first flips for the motorcycle that I had was the 2005 Yamaha R6. It was a beautiful low mileage 2005 Yamaha R6. That was the first bike and first motorcycle that I ever purchased. I bought it for $3,000. I dropped it. Therefore, it was the first. I had it for 2 weeks. I dropped it. That was my mistake, and I still sold it for $600 profit. I ended up selling it like 1 month later for $600 profit after enjoying it and dropping it for the first 4 weeks. That was my mistake, and I was still able to sell it for a profit. Why was I able to do that? Easiest way that I can put it, and this is pretty much where I'm going to end the video. It's very simple. The only way that I believe someone can profit on a vehicle is if you build yourself a large enough margin for profit that even if you own it for a series of months, for a week, for a year, you need to know how long you plan on keeping that specific car or vehicle, because the only way that you are going to be able to sell it for a profit or break even as you enjoy it is if you understand the depreciation and what it is that you need to have as a cushion to make sure that you can sell it for a profit. It's as simple as that. If every Honda Civic is being sold for $5,000 and I'm able to buy one for $3,000, I can probably own that Honda Civic based on its depreciation. Honda Civic's probably a 2012 won't sell for much less than $5,000. It might go to $4,000 1 or 2 years later, depending on the condition, depending on the mileage. Once a car depreciates a certain amount, they plateau. Is a car ever going to go to zero? It might, but if it's a full-fledged running car, when it comes down to the GTR, when it comes down to the Viper, when it comes down to a Honda Civic, they take a big depreciation from the very beginning, and then they start to plateau. They slowly start to depreciate. That's where I capitalize. I understand the market, I see when they start to plateau, and I see what the average market within my area is selling for. Let's say they're selling for about $5,000. I will make consistent offers for about $3,000, and I only need one to fill, meaning that I only need one person to accept my offer. I need it to meet all my criteria, cosmetically, electronically, and when it comes down to mechanically as well. I need to become familiar about that car and what it has to offer and making sure that nothing is wrong with the car, and that's why he's willing to take $3,000. With that being said, if I'm able to build myself that $2,000 margin of profit from the very beginning, I can enjoy the car for 1 to 2 months. So if this is something that you want to do for maybe your son, or if this is something that you want to do for your first purchase if you're 16 years old and thinking about buying your car, how amazing would it be to buy your first car, own it for 1 or 2 years, and sell it for a profit or break even? You know, forget about the idea of taking a hit or taking a depreciation hit for every single car that you own. What if you treat these forms of transportation, these vehicles, and you look at them and transform them into some form of business? That is my goal for each and every single one of you. It's not impossible, but it means that you have to dedicate time to learn about this market and exactly how it's run. I think it's a very simple concept. I've been in it for a couple of years, and that's why it's second nature to me. So I hope that this is something that you guys are looking forward to, and that I can guide you along the way to show you step by step on how I buy the cars, how I find the cars, how I sell the cars, and how I close the deals in such a structured format that has allowed me to this point make nearly $30,000 by age 22 as a side hobby. I get to enjoy a series of exotic cars and also motorcycles because of the way that I've structured this specific business. And I hope that each and every single one of you have the opportunity that I have as well. But again, I started with a Honda Civic, and it comes down to the very simple understanding that you need to start small. Once you get the understanding of the market and you see value in it, then you begin to invest a little bit more. At least that was my approach, and that is what has led to my success. I didn't purchase a McLaren as my first car because, first of all, I didn't understand the market enough, and I didn't know that you could actually do that from the very beginning with these higher end cars. With that being said, I've gotten to the point where, you know, I can flip Lamborghinis, I can flip GTRs, I can flip Audi R8s because I understand the market enough, and I get to enjoy them along the way. So I want you guys to be a part of this journey. So for all those that want to be kept up to date when it comes down to this lesson library for buying and reselling cars, feel free to click the first link in the description. It's simply going to ask you for your email, and we will keep you up to date. And once we publish it and everything that it has to offer, I'm super excited that we are going to be adding a new addition to TechBud Solutions in a structured format that will add so much more value to our group, and that we're going to be partnering up with JR Garage, which will allow us to be able to network with tens of thousands of more individuals that also want to excel in these specific markets that we choose to be a part of. Like always, guys, continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives in your success. And like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.
I'm at my prime. Yeah. I'm at my prime. Whoa. Have I gone too far? Do you detect something different? If you look at